And we're back with some more oxygen not included. And today we're going to compress all this magma into a teeny tiny little spot. Namely because, well, we've done all the rest of the magma. All the magma from all through here, all the way through there, has all been dumped into our green room and cooled down. We don't have a lot of nuclear waste left. I've put in so much nuclear waste that it keeps getting deleted. People are concerned it might be getting caught up here. Some of it does get caught in this section, but not a lot. I've had the solid nuclear waste showing up here for a while, and I've ended up with over a ton of the stuff here at one point or another, but not enough. It should definitely have more. It seems to be getting deleted somewhere. Anyway, we're not going to worry about that today. What we are going to worry ourselves with is compressing all this magma down. Getting this to completion was an interesting task. We built it out of niobium, so it's really conductive, and it would suck heat out of this because we wanted to prep it with magma. You see, you have to pour in liquids first so that you can squeeze in the gases. So we've got a little bit of carbon dioxide, a little bit of oxygen in there. However, we didn't want them escaping because something turned solid or these things flashed into or turned into debris. So we had to preheat this whole thing to make sure it wasn't going to do that. It's 1400 and something degrees, and we took magma from down here and just poured it in to prep the system. And we dug out these blocks diagonally. We had these blocks removed, dug in diagonally. Now I think we're fully prepped. So we can take all this magma, pour it in here. It'll push past those two gases, be unable to push them out of the way. So it'll just all end up compressed there. And we should end up with thousands of tons of magma compressed into that one tile. The question is how long it'll take. And we've even managed to break open this tank and merge it in. Probably should have went up there. No, not going to worry about that. For now, we'll start this process, though there's going to be lots of little blobs left here and there that we'll have to move in one way or the other, or squish, or whatever. Let's just crack it open and see what happens. We have locked the door. I wanted to make sure that was locked just in case. Didn't want any duplicates trying to wander in there. And now all we have to do is flick the switch, and we are golden. And off we go. Ooh. I was kind of worried that might force its way out. Nope, it all worked out perfectly. There was a little bit of concern that maybe that would push gases through or do something, but nope. 7,000 tons, or 7 tons, 8 tons, 9 tons, 10 tons, 11 tons, and we can already see, yeah. All right then, let's let this run. So 2,831 tons of magma. That seems like a sufficient quantity. I will mop up the last of that and dump it in there. Then once it's all in, then it gets, well, tricky. We have to figure out somehow to seal all of this in without letting any of it escape. And I've been keeping an eye on this magma. This magma gets a little bit chillier than I'd like. I think we're going to have to do this really quickly. Come on. Someone grab that last magma bottle. If they wouldn't mind, we want to get all of the magma in here so that we can start closing it up. In fact, you can go. You can be deconstructed. Probably going to replace that with an insulated tile. Actually, a couple of insulated tiles. One there, one there. And then we have to seal this so that none of that magma can ever escape. Well, at least for a while. How are you still this slow at building? Okay, we put one tile there. Is that... Yep, all the magma's in. We have got... That's every single scrap of magma from this entire area has been compressed down. We're going to put a insulated tile there. Then we're going to put an insulated tile right there. That'll force all of that gunk and magma to this side. Then we're going to... Well, actually, let's not spoil it. Right, that pushes all that stuff there, but more importantly, it squeezes the last of the magma out. And then... Well, we're going to put a niobium door right here. Now, there's sort of method to the madness. One, the door can't be destroyed by pressure. Two, it fills both of these blocks simultaneously. These blocks are full of gas right now. There is oxygen and carbon dioxide here, and the theory is... By placing a door right there, it'll immediately destroy both those blocks of gas without them ever escaping, while also safely sealing in that magma, which can't break through mechanized airlocks or manual airlocks. We could also use a manual airlock, but we'll see. So if we do this right, this should seal this in perfectly, and then we'll be left with a reasonably small container for all of this. In fact, we could delete that door. Don't need to. Yep, we'll worry about that in a minute. I've also put in a automation switch. This has been here for a while. The theory behind this wire is it stops anyone opening the door immediately, because that would be really bad if a duplicant tried to open that door instantly. So the fact that it's got a red signal sent to it instantly means it should immediately just stop. I know it's a bit toasty in there, Boyja, but you got this. Hopefully? Please do not do anything horrifying. Game's thinking about it. Okay, 2,832 tons. 1,800. Did not lose a single gram. Perfect. Now, the door's going to get a bit warm. We did lose a little bit of magma over here. Don't care. That worked out perfectly. Now what I think we'll do is we'll push all of that resources in there. We'll have everything in a nice, well, 3 wide tile area. Then we'll stick a little cooling thing on top of it. Give me a second to get to sweep up the last of this stuff that's lying around the place into this section. The plan here is to compress all of this, well, hot rocks down into one area along with the magma and then cool it all down by dumping a bunch of nuclear waste on it and doing a normal cooling loop. But I want to make a nice little chimney to go with it. I want to make it small, compact. And we're going to have to cool down a lot of hot magma, just so much. There's going to be... Oh, damn it! Went the wrong direction. Fine, we will... yeah, I'm gonna have to do it. Give me a minute. I gotta, like, redo all of this like a moron. This is going to be the most simplistic cooling tower of all time. Basically, 3 tiles wide, goes all the way down to the bottom. We're gonna chuck a couple of temperature shift plates in like that to make sure temperature moves around quite evenly. I've no idea how magma will cool in this scenario. It's incredibly compressed. I've never tried cooling compressed magma before. I assume it'll solidify if we drain enough heat out of it, and that's assuming we can get enough heat out of it? I'm kind of curious. You see, some of these doors here are having weird temperatures. I don't understand how their temperatures can be 1,300 degrees when the magma's 1,478 centigrade. That should just be immediately turning all the things around it boiling hot. Temperature shift plate should hopefully help sort that out. Yeah, and then we're just going to start walling this up, and we're going to get ready to stick a steam turbine on top. This is your normal steam turbine heat deletion device. We are going to connect those two over there, and we're going to start dumping water in here so that the aquatuner has something to exchange heat with to dump into the steam turbine so that we can destroy the heat. And this is going to run super coolant through it to cool down this area over here and to cool down the steam turbine. But, ooh, damn it. Never put in a temperature control. You know what? Oh, no, I can fix that. We can take out this block here, break back in, and quickly stick in a tiny bit of automation. We have filled up the water section in here. Now we're just going to chuck in a whole bunch of supercoolant. The supercoolant will fill up this line. That will... Oh, actually, what's this set to? Maybe let's turn you off for now. Don't keep any supercoolant inside you. They'll mess things around. Alright, we shall let that fill up that loop. Nice! Okay, loop is filled. We'll let this do a little bit of cooling. We want to get it down to about, minus 200. Once it's about minus 200 C, we'll start dumping in the nuclear waste. Nuclear waste can go down here. In fact, let's start moving the nuclear waste down now. It's going to take a while to get here. We're also going to take advantage of one of the new pieces of automation that have been introduced. Actually, sorry, new pieces of plumbing that have been introduced. The conduction panels. We are going to grab a conduction panel and we're going to slap it under... damn it, why can't we... That's not fair. Oh. Okay. I had it in the way of that pipe. That was what was causing the problem. If we overlap that like that, what should happen is this should share temperature. The conduction panel should share temperature with the metal tile, and then the conduction panel should also share temperature with the steam turbine, meaning it should be able to cool the steam turbine by sucking chill, or by passing temperature between the metal tile and the steam turbine. And maybe I can move this around. No, actually, I can't really move that around, can I? Yeah, I could put in a... Actually, I could put in a liquid bridge. Right there. Yep, then we'll just have to sever that, deconstruct it, and we'll put in another one on the other side. Well, it depends. What's the temperature of this at the moment? We'll wait until the conduction panel goes in and see how much it drops the temperature by. 40.7. Ooh. It's okay, not amazing, but we'll do the same to the other side and see how that helps out. This is the first time I'm going to be using one of these for something this dumb. It's working. Steam turbine's operational, its temperature is not going up massively, and those two little conduction panels are dumping temperature into it. Probably should have given more metal tile space. I'm sort of intersecting with the cooling loop itself with those liquid outputs, which was not my intent when I started, but it's just the way the cookie crumbled. And it doesn't seem to be affecting anything though, so I'm just going to leave them there. System is prepped. We're down to minus 200 there. We got a whole bunch of nuclear waste ready to go. Let's see what happens when we introduce nuclear waste to this much magma. It should, well, I'm just guessing it's going to get real hot. The question is whether or not we've underprepared in terms of cooling up the top. I'm just using a single steam turbine. Alright, it's interacting with all of the... fine, it's going to have to interact with the tiles on the way up, but eventually it's going to get to the top. So far, we're looking good. Pressure's getting up to reasonable levels. Well, 35 kilos at the bottom. We got 3 or 4 kilos at the top. Let's maybe put in a little bit more nuclear waste in here. I want to get this to the... yeah, there we go. You can see the little blobs of nuclear waste falling on the side and falling down. That's going to drive down the temperature all the way to the bottom. Perfect. Okay, 11 kilos of pressure up there. I think we got enough. Let's cut off... let's pinch off that flow right there. Off you go, and that'll be the end of it. How are we looking on the cooling front? Not too stressed. Machine seems fairly decent. What's your property? Oh, I suppose we haven't been using this all day. Alright, worst case scenario, we're not going above 29% today. We'll have to wait until tomorrow before we get an update on that. Maybe I'm going crazy, but that seems to be working, and quite efficiently. We're looking at the temperature, it's 500 degrees here. It's just, as the nuclear waste keeps falling down from the top, it's driving down the temperature all the way along. This is just unbelievably efficient. You know what? Let's add more nuclear waste. It could mess up the whole system, or not. Who knows? Hopefully it just makes things faster. I say we dump it all in and be done with it. The system will figure itself out. Whoa. How is that existing right there? It shouldn't be possible. There's... how? That makes no sense. That nuclear waste should have vaporized instantly. Yeah, there's definitely some weird stuff going on there. Alright, we can ignore all of this. We can slice you off. You have no purpose anymore. And we'll just let the system run for a bit in the background. So while this is doing its little dance, and it's doing it quite nicely, I'm just really curious to see what happens when this solidifies. At some point, this is going to drop below the freeze point. So once it goes to about 1407.9, that will become a solid tile. And I think the only reason it's having problems with heat transfer is because it's a super compressed liquid tile. Super compressed solid tile should be able to transfer, well, I think should be able to transfer heat just fine, which means this should suddenly start ejecting heat really rapidly. Well, that's the hope. Because as it is, this thing is still smashing the heat out of it, no problem. There's 2,832 tons in there, and it's just ripping it out slowly but surely. I mean, okay, it's only dropped 0.1 of a degree there, and then another 0.1. That's enormous amounts of heat when you consider the amount of energy contained in that much mass. It's just ridiculous. Oh, and this over here is now in vacuum. All of the nuclear waste, the nuclear fallout has been turned into liquid, is now down the bottom. And there's some problem I really need to deal with. You see, over here, I was getting this problem with the petroleum backfilling over this side, and I didn't know why it was happening. I assumed something was lagging out, and it was thinking that slicksters were over here dropping liquid waste or something. No. That was not what was happening. What was happening was we were getting blobs of liquid crude oil. So crude oil was getting dropped down here, and then the liquid petroleum that was getting dropped by the other slicksters would fall on top and then have to flow over it, which is why it was overflowing this section, causing problems. So to counteract this, I did nothing. I just didn't know what was causing it. Why? It shouldn't have been possible. There was no way for regular slicksters to appear. All the slickster eggs end up over here, and then only the molten ones get put in here. Then I discovered that there was... where is it? Well, never mind. The slickster died. Well, yep, that would make sense. What was happening is this. The slicksters that don't get put into ranches down here Well, what happens to them? Well, they stay up here. So these eggs will hatch. If no ranch needs a living slickster, the slickster after 5 cycles will pop out and start roaming around out here. The thing is, it's actually in range of carbon dioxide. Now, I knew this at some point, but I'd forgotten it. So what happens is they stay here, they stay alive, and then eventually they lay an egg because their reproduction goes up at 2% per cycle. So they'll lay an egg before they die, and very rarely they will lay a larva egg. Just a regular slickster. Not a molten one, just a regular larva egg, which then sucks up some carbon dioxide and drops down the crude oil. That was what was... Well, anyway, I didn't think it was a big deal. I was ignoring it. I'm like, I'll come back every so often, clean up the patches of oil, and then... Yeah, but then I was digging down here so that we could start cooling down this area. I figured we let a little bit of steam in here, it bleeds some heat into this area, and we can bleed off the heat. Unfortunately, the oil backfill flew in here, and now we have sour gas in here. Yep. So because I left these in range of carbon dioxide, it backed up this, which overflowed that, which ended up down here, which touched that, and made sour gas. This is going to be such a mess to clean up. Damn it, Randy, you're just... It's fine. It's fine. I'll just... I've got time. I'm waiting for that nuclear waste to cool down all that magma, so a little bit of a cleanup here should only take me a few minutes. Just one of the joys of the job. We are running a little bit short on meat, so I thought, why not just increase the size of the ranches while we're at it? It won't quite fix our problems, but it will give us more meat to play around with, so I figure this is a win-win situation while we're here, and we're waiting for all that igneous rock to cool down. Done. Extra ranch completed. We moved everything down a level, moved down the piping, moved down the gas extraction, moved down the sensors. That'll give us a little bit more meat to make more burgers so that when we leave we have more than enough food for all of our dupes. Now, well, let's see how our radiation... Ooh. Right, so it's cooled down. It's still not injecting temperature as fast as I would like. I feel like it should be doing it quicker. Maybe it's just there's so much cooling coming down from on high. Could be. Seems improbable. Like, that's just so much mass. Also, we could actually cut our way in there now and remove some of those doors. Though I would need to put in... Might actually be tricky. Well, technically there's a vacuum there. You know, let's observe this for a bit. If we could theoretically walk in there without breaking the vacuum seal, that would be kind of an awesome design. Sensibility got the better of me, and instead of just risking it, we've put in a liquid lock. It's a tiny little blob one. It shouldn't be a problem, but I would like to see if this thing works, because if we break this open and no nuclear fallout gets into this section, it would be a perfect vacuum seal building, which is kind of crazy, but also kind of awesome. We're going to go in, rip out that door, and then the nuclear waste can touch the igneous rock directly. No need for any of this intermediate stuff, and we can chuck down another temperature shift plate right there. Ooh, and we should probably... Yeah, make our way down there a little bit easier. Chuck down some more niobium. Right there. That is still not pulling it out as fast as I'd like. Okay, temperature shift plates all the way around you. I would like to take a moment to point out that all of these rocks here are well chilled. These things were starting out at 1400 degrees. Now they're down somewhere between 800 to 500. That is such a huge amount of cooling. That is just ridiculous. Alright. You can go. You can go, and I think you can go as well. We're going to replace everything with niobium and niobium temperature shift plates. We want this cooled down as quick as we possibly can. 5 temperature shift plates all the way around it, and then a nice metal pad of niobium below it. And it is working. Let's see, how we going? Yeah, perfect. We'll seal that off again. And we'll come back when this thing is cooled down to below 500 degrees, or 500 degrees-ish. Once it's hit that point, we can start chucking in steam, though we'd be better off just sticking steam turbines on top at that point. The cooling on this has increased quite substantially since we've stripped it. You can see there it's 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6. It's actually dropping at a reasonable rate. Beforehand, it was about taking 3 times as long. Well, I'm just guesstimating here it was roughly that much longer. So this is far faster doing it this way. We should have that down to the necessary temperature in no time at all. Though we still have to core out the rest of the rocket. Not the rocket, rest of the map. There's a few hot rock areas left. In fact, I think there's one over here we could take care of really quickly with just a quick liquid lock, some smart digging, and maybe a tiny bit of carrying. throw down a quick bead liquid locker right there, rip through here, take out all the obsidian and the igneous rock, and then dump it over here with the rest of the stuff. It's causing this place to get a bit toasty, but we got a bunch of steam turbines on top, and once it's in debris form, it takes forever to get rid of the heat. So we can quickly core this area out. That just leaves this one place, and once that's done as well, we have no hot places left. Still got to move some of that debris, though. I'm thinking about that. That is an awful lot of 500 degree igneous rock and obsidian. Well, 400 degree in this place. This place is just a little bit... Oh, actually, no. Never mind, 500 degrees. I think we're going to be letting this run overnight one time just to clear up all of that stuff. I have to make sure that nothing can go wrong, though, while we're away for the night. That I'll worry about later. And for reference, because I know it's important to some people, when it comes to this aquatune over here, its uptime at the moment is pretty high. 28%, 31% in the last cycle. It's taking about 30% uptime to keep up with this right now. This thing is churning out heat. Like, just 1,000 degree fallout is coming up this direction. And then it's counterflowing against, well, all the solid and liquid fallout, or solid and liquid nuclear waste coming back down the opposite direction. It's definitely efficient. Just, sort of ridiculous. We ran these two gas pumps for ages, and they would filter out all the sour gas and put it onto our carbon dioxide line. This got rid of all the sour gas eventually. Took several cycles. I think some of it may have gotten overwritten by carbon dioxide or oxygen or steam or something along the lines. But I'm just glad it's all gone. This place is clean again. Okay, and down here we've almost cored this out. Could put in another layer of slicksters if we really need it. I'll have to see how the meat supplies work out, because I'll have to do the math again on how much carbon dioxide we're actually generating. Oh, and we can put you back there. I flooded these things again. I keep forgetting. I should put in a pump in the middle or something, but it seems like an awful lot of effort, and we do have 857 tons of this stuff. It's not like we're going to be running out of plastic anytime soon. So I suppose next up is rigging this place for an overnight journey. That could be... Oh my god, there's so much mess. Like, for example, we are currently cooling our oxygen supply by using Wheezeworts. Goes up here and past way too many Wheezeworts. The radiation up there is actually... yeah, pretty hazardous. Significant hazard at 1,600 rads. Oh my, 2,200. Remind me not to send duplicants up there anytime soon. It has been getting colder and colder up here to the point where now the oxygen is coming in so cold, minus 10 degrees in places, that it started to freeze the base. Yeah, the entire right-hand side is now an icicle. I actually had to start insulating parts over here and doing changes around to stop the whole base chilling down too much. So we need to put in a proper cooling solution that will stabilize this temperature. Or, I was actually thinking we'd probably just put chuck an aquatune over here, cool down this pond, and then run a cooling loop throughout the entire base just to stabilize the temperatures. Though I might want to dig out some of those dirt tiles. We still have dirt tiles in our base because I have been incredibly lazy about that. It's just, we haven't really looked at the base in ages. So sort the oxygen cooling, that should be fairly straightforward, core out a bunch of the base, and then start the massive sweep to clean up the entire map. That might take a little time. Oh, and over here I was thinking, we could dig this out. We could just dig it out half the mass and get rid of half the heat. That seems kind of cheap though, so I kind of want to get it all the way down to, 500 degrees before I do that. It feels wrong. Would kill half the heat for us, and it seems that the debris cools down an awful lot faster. The debris is already down to under 600 degrees in a lot of cases, or 600 or less. Ooh. No, not going to worry about it. Hey, I am out of time for today. I spent a chunk of Sunday even doing prep work for this, and there's so much to do. It's like there's just so much digging. Like, this entire area has been vacuumed out. I don't think I've ever had a map with this much vacuum going on. There is just no gases throughout that entire area. It feels so wrong. Except for this one spot over here. This is scary. I should probably go in and crush all of that gas and get rid of it, just so that it doesn't contaminate everything. Maybe later. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.